All right, so Year 10 today, we're looking at simple interest. The great thing with simple interest is there's a formula. You just need to use the formula to calculate the simple interest. I is equal to P times R times N. I being your interest, P is your principal or the original amount, R is the rate as a decimal, okay? And then finally, N is the number of periods. So we've got 3 questions here. Hopefully these 3 questions will get us started on how to work these out. So let's get into them and have a go. Question 1 asks us to do $18,000, and we're just finding the simple interest at 3.75% for 5 years. So we use our formula. Just write the formula. I equals PRN, and that's the first line I always want to see you writing. Don't just jump in, write the formula, because then I know you've made the right start. Second, we replace the letters with the appropriate number. So the principal, or the original amount, is 18,000 times our rate, which is 3.75%. And I've suggested write it as a decimal. Now your calculators are so good, you could probably just write 3.75%, but I'm a bit old school and I like to write it as a decimal. And it says for 5 years. Now I'm assuming in the question that it's per annum, per year. That's what the PA stands for on the next one. So then we just do it times 5. Can I have somebody please to type that into their calculator and tell us the answer for what the simple interest is?
375.
That sounds better. Any sense? Any sense? No, that sounds better. Okay. So when you type it in like that, $3,375 is the simple interest. That's all this question is asking for. Now, if you invested that in a bank account and got it back at the end, you get the 18,000 plus the 3,375. Yeah? Let's have a go at question 2. Again, there's the information. This time it's for 9 months. 9 months, how many months are in a year?
12.
12, so it's 9 out of 12 months, okay, or years, should I say. So we write the formula, I equals PRN. We substitute the numbers, 8,620 times our rate, 2.4%, as a decimal, 0.024, times 9 months, but it's less than a year. So it's 9 out of 12 as a fraction, you can see that. Yeah, 9/12 of the year. All right, again, let's try. What's that in the calculator? 155.16. Okay, my rough estimate is 2%, well 1% would be about 86, 2%'s double that. That seems about right. Okay. Good. Let's have a go at question 3 here. 5,700 at 6.15% for 240 days. Ooh, is that a full year?
No.
How many days are in a year?
365.
Yes, and we'll just use 365. That's the easiest for us to work with. So again, we write I equals PRN. We substitute in our numbers. Our principal is 5,700 times our rate, 6.15%, and I'm again assuming it's per year. That would seem reasonable. 615 times 240 out of 365. So again, can I have somebody type that into their calculator? Tell me what they get. 230.5. Let me have a think. Now, in this case, if I was to take 10%, that's 570. It's about half of 10%, which is about 290, 285, okay? But it's only for 240 days, so that seems about right, okay? Let's make sure we write it correctly. So year 9, I hope you can see these first 3, very straightforward. Just enter the numbers. But Like in a steak knife commercial, there's more, because I've got 2 more questions, and these 2 questions have a bit more detail to them. Here's our formula, I equals PRN. But let's look at this question. After 2 years, an investment of $1,560 has earned $87.36 in simple interest. What is the annual interest rate? Okay, this time it's not all on the right hand side of the equation. So I'm going to rub out what's up here and let's work methodically through this question that I've got here. I'll leave the last one in case you're still copying that. So this is, I've written it as question 3. It probably should be question 4, but that's all right. We'll stick with 3. First, write the formula. Okay, that's our first step. Second, substitute the numbers into our formula. Well, we've actually got the I this time. All right, it is 87.36 is equal to the P was 1,560. The R, well, we don't know that. That's what we've got to find. What is the annual interest rate? But the N, the number of periods, happens to be 2. So it's 2 years. So we write times 2. Now this should remind us of our algebra from earlier. And we've got to find a way to find R on its own. Now, one of the things I like to do sometimes is just to simplify the numbers a bit. So let's simplify it so we can see it a bit more clearly. 1,560 times 2. Now, 1,500 times 2 is 3,000. So it should be 3,120. So we've simplified to 3,120 times R. Now, to get R on its own, we divide both sides by 3,120. Okay, we keep it balanced, but we want to just get R. So when I divide on this side, on the right-hand side, those 2 cancel out. And all I need to do now is work out what 87.36 divided by 3,120 is. So, can someone type that into their calculator, please? So, 0.028 is equal to R. All right? Or R is equal to 2.8% per annum. Okay, that's the interest rate. What is the annual interest rate? 2.8%. So we've just worked back to get that. That's all we've had to do. When I went from there to there, I just multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. Okay, last question. Let's see if we can get this one done too. So I'm calling this question 4. For how long, so we don't know the number of periods. For how long will $12,000 need to be invested to earn $1,350 if the flat rate of interest is 4.5% per annum? Okay, again, I want to write out my formula. I equals PRN. I substitute in what I have. The interest, I've earned $1,350. My principal was $12,000. My rate was 4.5%, and I've said to write that as a decimal, so 0.045, and my number of periods, okay, is, we don't know. That's what we've got to find out. So we leave it as an N. Now again, I like to simplify first. Don't have to. You could just take that all to that side. But what is 12,000 times 0.045? Type that into a calculator. 54? Okay. So we've got 54 times N is equal to 1350. This time now, I want to divide both sides by 54. So I keep it balanced. I'm working backwards. These two 54s will cancel out because 50 times 54 divided by 54, we're back to our original number. So I just need to work this out. What's 1350 divided by 54? 25. Wow. So how long? They needed to invest for 25 years. It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So year 9, notice, whatever the question is, write the formula, substitute in the numbers, work out the answer. All right? Just be careful with it. And to make sure we know this formula, of course, we're going to need to get in and practice, practice, practice.